In all the countries that I had the pleasure of visiting, countries like Thailand, Turkey, Colombia, where my money went very far, nothing compares to how far it went in Argentina. Not only did it go far, it doubled. If you've clicked this video, you're probably wondering, how cheap is Argentina? Let me tell you, in this country, the dollar will let you live like a king and queen. My name is Derek. This is my channel, Paint Your Lifestyle. I'm a travel content creator where I teach you guys how to redesign how you live through travel content creation. In this video, I'm gonna show you how much I spent in just 1 month traveling through Argentina. The results may shock you. So if you haven't seen one of my videos before where I cover cost of living or travel expenses, I break everything down by 4 categories, which is transportation, accommodation, food, and other. And then at the end, I give a grand total of what I spent in the country, showing you if I spent past my monthly limit. So my monthly limit is $1,000. That's how much I've given myself for every country that I go to, whether it be a week, 2 weeks, or just 1 month. So in the month of October, we're going to go over all 4 of those categories of everything that I spent, give you some details, some insight, and show you just how much I spent. And we're going to determine if I go over the monthly limit. What makes this video a little bit more interesting is that not only did my money convert, it doubled. And if you want to know more about that, you can click my previous video on how to save money in Argentina. You can click that right there. There I go a little bit into more detail about the blue dollar and how to double your money in Argentina. Also, how I keep track of all these finances. I used to write them down or put them in my notes on my phone. What I do now, various apps, but the one I'm using now is called Budget. Budget allows me to add every expenses in different categories on the app, which is a click of a button, making it so easy for me to maneuver through the country without having to have a headache writing down all my expenses. So I can literally add all my expenses through food, accommodation, travel, other, and many more different categories, all in Budget. And if you want to know more about Budget, you can also click that video over there too. I go over the top 10 travel apps that I use every day that will benefit you on your travel. So starting with transportation, I flew from Burbank to Buenos Aires with American Airlines for about $394.30. I didn't stay in Buenos Aires for very long. It was just like a day or two. And then I traveled to Cordoba for $80.95. And I was there for like 2.5 weeks. Then I traveled to Mendoza through the bus for about $45. Now, traveling in Argentina is as simple as traveling anywhere else. They have a lot of different resources as far as like bus, bike, taxi, however you want to do it. All the resources is there. I didn't have a hard time getting around, so this was actually pretty great. And when you're in other countries, traveling to neighboring cities is always going to be a lot cheaper than traveling to other countries. So getting from like Buenos Aires to Cordoba to Mendoza wasn't hard at all. This is how much I spent for transportation in Argentina. For the month of October, in transportation, what I spent was 152,496.81 pesos. When we convert that into dollars, we get $529.59. It's already half of my monthly expenses, which is fair because that's how much I spent to get to the country and travel to another city and to another city. Totally fine. I have no problem with that. Now, if I wanted to make this type of video without the expenses of flying to just Buenos Aires, then this would be a much different video. But we'll keep that just for shock value. Moving on to accommodation. This is really cool. It's really interesting when it comes to this topic because the average salary that the Argentinians make in a month is about 45,000 pesos. When we convert that to dollars, that's roughly around like 150, hitting $200. That's how much money I took when I first arrived, and that amount of money doubled for me, which allowed me to eat off of just $200 for 3 weeks. That's insane though, and that's kind of like the playing field you want to understand that you're in when you hit Argentina. In Buenos Aires, I stayed at a hostel called Millhouse Hostel Avenue. It's actually pretty chill. I met some really cool people there. Hostels are great for meeting new people everywhere you go, but this one was very nice. It was kind of in the center of the city, and I also had access to like a grocery store to eat, but it wasn't close enough to do all like Palermo or the cool things to do in Buenos Aires. So I was there for just like a night. In Cordoba, I have a friend there, but she rented me her room to stay for like 90 days. And all I paid was $175 just to rent the room. I didn't need like a fancy hotel. I didn't need like an Airbnb. This was a solid deal that a friend of mine gave me to rent her own room while I can just roam around Cordoba, do whatever I want and explore the new area. So this saved me a lot of time and money. And I always suggest having resources in the countries you go to because friends do help out in the end, especially overseas. And then last, I was in another hostel in Mendoza. I stayed in Mendoza for like a week. And I was in this hostel called, I may butcher it, Meridiano Hostel Boutique. It was actually really cool. They served breakfast in the garage next door, and it was in the center of like the downtown area. So if you're thinking about like being really close to where things are happening at night, this is the hostel where you want to be. I think the staff was phenomenal. They were amazing. Hostels were super clean. Restrooms were super clean and very nice. The aesthetic was super dope. So going right into accommodation, here's how much I spent. For accommodation, what I spent was 61,215.52 pesos. When we convert that into dollars, it's $212.59. I think that's a great number for just 1 month in Argentina. Mind you, don't forget that my money is doubling in this country. So it's really not hitting my bank. 212 is great. And I think what really helped out was just having a friend give me a room to stay in exchange for like almost $200. So thank you to Luciana for that. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for helping me get through this country. I couldn't have done this without you. Okay, so this is my favorite topic within this whole video. This is the food part. So this is kind of where, like I say, I really lived it up in this country. I spent so much money on food. It was just, I gained like 15 pounds. I kid you not. And I lost it all the next month. But I was eating foods like pancakes, fruit salads, Chinese food, tacos, empanadas, Argentinian food, Italian food, everything and above. If you check my Instagram stories, you can see that I was eating something nice every day. So that's the thing I like about Argentina is that there was a lot of variety. For that reason alone is why I could see myself living in this country. Man, woo! Man, when I say I was eating my life away, I am not joking. This is like seriously the best part. I felt as if anything that I wanted, I could have it. But let's find out how much I spent in 1 month for the total of food. When it comes to food, what I spent was 26,596 pesos. When we convert that into dollars, we get $92.36. That is wild. In just 1 month, I spent just under $100 in this country. In just 1 month, I'm gonna say it again, in just 1 month, I spent under $100 of food. And this is not even like groceries. I was eating out every single day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is insane. I can't make this up. I cannot. Like, I cannot stress it. This is insane. Look at the videos right here. I'm showing you. This is all the food that I was eating, and I was eating good. This wasn't like penny pinching on a budget. This is balling on a budget. Wow. I think this is probably the lowest amount of money I've ever spent in 1 month in another country. That's insane. For food, that's crazy. Wow. Moving on. Now this is the category of other. Other doesn't really involve or fall into like accommodation, transportation, food. This is kind of like the outlier. Within this category, like I got a haircut and I bought like my phone SIM card. In the category of other, what I spent was 11,000 pesos. When we convert that into dollars, we get $38.20. $38, that's great. You can't beat that, and that's nothing to really argue about. Like, there will be some other things that you need. What I like to do, I like to buy SIM cards every country that I go to save money on the phone bills, because it does add up, and internet does add up. So I'm very happy with that amount of number. I'm very happy with that. Now, what you've been waiting for is a total. This is how much I spent in all 4 categories of everything I spent in just 1 month in Argentina. This is how much I spent. Drum roll, please. What I spent altogether is 251,308.33 pesos. When we convert that into dollars, it is $872.75. So almost $900. This is a solid number. This is great. I'm very happy with the results. This is further proof that you don't have to spend much in other countries. And I feel like Argentina is very unexplored, but hopefully this video will bring you more insight to living truly like a king that you deserve to be, and queen, of course. That's all I got for you guys. That is the end of my Argentina series. If you have any questions about Argentina, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Take care.